Hello everyone, welcome to Soldier 101 Basics with Spirit of Fear. I'm going to be going over the basics of Soldier with his weapons, how to combat with him, and the basis of his rocket jumping. This includes dealing with sentries as well in the course. This is your basic loadout you'll start looking at like when you first play. You'll have no hat, no nothing. That means nothing to the game. It only changes the way you look. Your basic weapons that you start with is your rocket launcher, your shotgun, and your shovel. Your stock rocket launcher, as it's called, is your most basic weapon of all, and it's your best weapon that you have for a primary. The stock rocket launcher's damage can go anywhere from 20 to 110, and that's based on fall off. So fall off means the further the rocket goes, the less damage it does. So the further and further it goes, it's going to do less and less. But the closer it is, the more risk you run of getting splashed too. So try and pinpoint it at your opponent's feet for maximized damage and for more damage to them. The closer they are to the splash, the better. You do not have to directly hit them. Splash damage is just as deadly. Now, when the rocket crits, it can do 135 to 270 damage. Your basic rocket launcher comes with 4 rounds in its clip and 20 rounds in its reserve. Next, the shotgun. The shotgun's damage deals 3 to 90 rounds based on the pellets and how far you're firing from. The further you are, the larger your spread on your shots, but the closer you are, the more impact it will do. Crits for the shotgun can range from 6 damage to 180, once again based on your distance of your shot. Your shotgun is your best weapon when you're in up close combat versus your rocket launcher, unless you can keep your opponent at a distance. Your shotgun comes with 6 rounds in its clip and 32 rounds in its reserve. Your shovel, your melee weapon, the most basic of all. It is your absolute last resort. It is not meant to go around and beat people to death with just your shovel. It takes too long. Your shovel's base damage is 65, so every time you hit someone, 65, 65, 65. And if it crits, it will do 195. That usually will kill anywhere from a scout, spy, sniper, medic, demo man, and it will do max damage, instantly killing them if it crits. You have unlimited use of your shovel, but it is an absolute last resort. You are out of ammo for both your shotgun and your rocket launcher, or you do not have time to reload and your opponent has already wasted his ammo. Hello, we're back, and now we're going to go over fighting techniques and the soldier's speed when it comes to battle. I've turned on the bots now, so you can see how the speed compares to everyone. Soldier moves at 80% normal speed, so he's below Pyro. And moving backwards, he moves slower than a soldier moving forwards. But his speed is 1 above the heavies, so you can always outrace a heavy. Soldier is not the fastest, but he is one of the most mobile classes. That's his rocket jumping. It causes him to be able to use his rocket for momentum, but that'll be discussed over Soldier 102 Advanced. Now, as I said before, rockets do damage based on distance. The further away it goes, the less damage it'll do. See if I can get someone far range. See, 36. It gets lower and lower, but the closer they are, the more damage you will do. It makes it easier for taking out people. But as Soldier, you do not want to be on an even playing field. You want to be above your opponent. Firing down makes it easier to aim as a soldier. Your rockets have a slight curve to them, so they don't go to the center of your crosshair when you fire. So you have to compensate, but it makes it great for firing around corners and sentries and other players, which will be shown during the sentry portion. As I was saying, you fire and you want to have your height advantage, because trying to get at same level, a little bit harder to aim your rocket launcher. You can jump to supplement it, but it's not as good as having a height advantage over someone. As you can see, there was a critical rocket, 270 damage. He's going to die instantly. Only class that can survive a Crocket, as they're referred to, is a heavy or an overhealed soldier, but anything else will die instantly to it. As you can see, anywhere from 135 to 270. That spy took 180. Next up is the shotgun. The shotgun is for an even playing field. As you can see, the damage varies based on the spread that I get. But your shotgun fires just straight down the barrel. So your crosshairs where your shotgun is aimed. The closer you get, the more damage you do. 89, 40. Much farther the range, the less damage you're gonna do. And you'll mostly miss too. So when you've got your shotgun, even playing field or even down towards your enemy is your best bet, and as close as you can get. It's really good for taking down enemies who are trying to melee you. And it's best to switch to if you run out of rockets and need a quick weapon. It's even useful in trying to get away just to deter the enemy with damage. And there's a crit, 180, goes down instantly. But the 180 crit is the max damage you will put out with your shotgun. So, always learn to aim down the center with it, and practice your aim. Next up we have is our shovel. Melee weapon, so it takes a while for them to actually be in range. As you can see, 65 damage, or 3 hits. 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's a critical, 195, instant death. But it takes 2 for the soldier because he has 200. And this is your absolute last resort. Your melees always have a higher chance for random criticals, but it's all based on luck. You don't know if you're going to get it or not. You could get 1, you could get 2, you could get 3 in a row. 4. Let's see if we can get 5. Nope. But as you can see, it's just random luck. And most times when you pull out your melee, your opponent will shoot you down. Because odds are, they know not to get in a melee battle with you for the chance of random crits. Now if you agree to a melee battle, that's fine, but it's run at your own risk. Last resort if all your weapons are empty of ammo, and it's best to stay away from using it. And since it's the last resort, it's not going to be your best choice. Now we've moved on to sentry training. As you can see, I've set up a little course here of how to deal with sentries. We've got your level 1, level 2, level 3, engineer, and I'm going to show you how to shoot around a corner with your rocket launcher as well to deal with sentries. Now each sentry will take different amounts of rockets. The only sentry I do not have up is a mini sentry. They're cheap and pretty easy to take out with 1 to 2 rockets, 2 shotgun blasts, or 2 melee hits. Now your level 1 sentry takes 2 rockets, level 2 takes 2 rockets, and level 3 takes 3 rockets, 5 rockets if it's wrangled. When it's wrangled, it gains a shield and makes it harder, and that applies to the other 2 sentry types as well. Now this is if the engineer is not around and not repairing his sentries while it's under fire. If it's being repaired, it will take a few more rockets to deal with it, but the engineer runs the risk of splash damage, which will be shown when I fire at the level 3. Now the sentries do have a range on them. I've set them at the very back, so as soon as I step within this range, I get shot at. Now as you can see, the level 3 has rockets as well as very fast firing capabilities, where level 1 is extremely slow. So your best bet is always to stay out of their range, fire rockets, just like that. 1, 2, level 2 goes down. 1, 2, 3, and it goes down. Now the engineer would most likely be repairing it, and since he'd been so close to it, he would have taken splash damage, which would have either killed him or caused him to retreat. Now, when it comes to dealing with sentries that you have corner cover over, it's always good to use your strafe keys, being A and D. And you can fire a rocket off before the sentry can fire. As you can see, taking it down just using the corner. Now I also fired a critical at the sentry. The critical does not do extra damage to buildings, whether it be a sentry, a dispenser, or a teleporter. They will do extra damage to the engineer, but not to the buildings he makes. Sentries are soldiers. Well, it's one of the soldier's specialties. It's not his best, but it is one of his specialties to dealing with since he has explosives. The Demo Man is the best for taking out sentries, but that'll be covered in the Demo Man 101 video when it comes out. So, as we've learned, your best weapon, best primary, is your rocket launcher. Your best secondary is your shotgun. Your best melee weapon will come up in the Soldier 102 Advanced. And we've learned how to fight as well against sentries and the tactics for fighting against other players. So now I'm going to show you the basis of how to rocket jumping. And I'm going to switch scenes. And we're back. So now the basis. This is not how to do advanced jumping. This is just your basic how to actually go about it. First rule of thumb, do not hold your W key after you have jumped. It throws off your jumping greatly. It does not give you extra momentum. Now, to start a rocket jump, aim at the ground, hit jump and fire. That is your most basic rocket jump. To get higher height, do a crouch and jump at the same time, along with your firing. That's how you go vertically. If you wish to go horizontally, you'll need a wall. Now, a wall could consist of a prop or the slightest edge, but you just need a flat surface pretty much. So you look, jump, fire. Doesn't work so well with just normal jump. So we'll do a crouch jump. And as you can see, we can move further out by doing that. And that's how you gain horizontal momentum. In doing so, if you combine the both by doing such as this, then we jump crouch and we get some distance. So you can use that to gain height and momentum at the same time. You can do it with a plain flat ground too. And that's just the basis. We'll go over more advanced rocket jumping techniques in Soldier 102. So, I hope you learned a little bit more about Soldier, and you go out and practice these skills. Until next time, I'm Spirit of Fear, and you better practice, maggots!